it your turn?
The end of dreaming is the end of fear. And love was never in the world of dreams. The gap is little, yet it holds the seeds of pestilence and every form of ill, because it is a wish to keep apart and not to join. And thus it seems to give cause to sickness, which is not its cause. The purpose of the gap is all the cause that sickness has, for it was made to keep you separated in a body which you see as if it were the cause of pain.
And the gap he's talking about is the space between our relationships where we don't want to see the person the same as us. We want to have a gap. We're going to say, well, I'm slightly different in right over here in this direction, slightly different over here. So there's a little gap between you and me. We're not the same. And we do that out of a self-protection. We think that protects our identity. So that's what he's saying. This gap is very little, and the Holy Spirit's purpose is to close the gap so that you don't have to experience this separation. Okay. The cause of pain is separation, not the body, which is only its effect. Yet separation is but empty space, enclosing nothing, doing nothing, and as unsubstantial as the empty place between the ripples that a ship has made in passing by, and covered just as fast as water rushes in to close the gap, and as the waves in joining cover it. Where is the gap between the waves when they have joined and covered up the space which seemed to keep them separate for a little while? Where are the grounds for sickness when the minds have joined to close the little gap between them where the seeds of sickness seem to grow?
Where are the grounds for sickness? When the minds have joined to close the little gap.
Now, see, because sickness isn't a punishment for guilt. So when you've joined, you've seen you're both innocent. So there's no cause for sickness now. There's no cause to suffer because you're innocent. You don't need to prove your brother's guilty by suffering. So that's why once you see you're both the same, there's no cause for this. Now you don't need to do this anymore. You don't need to attack yourself in an insane attempt to win your innocence. Remember we talked about that earlier. You know, you're thinking this game is played where if I'm innocent, then they've got to be guilty, and if I'm guilty, then they're innocent. So we don't understand. We're either the same, which means we've joined, or we're going to have a gap where it says I'm this and you're that. And now now the seeds of sickness can grow. This is the grounds for the seeds of sickness, because I've made somebody's guilty, so somebody's got to suffer, so somebody's got to be sick.
To me, this also says the size of the gap is nothing, and I tie that up with it. There is no miracles. There is no
degree of difficulty.
Order of difficulty. Yeah, a gap is a gap.
Right.
But a large gap, it's still something. It's just something. Any miracle.
Okay, Asti.
God builds a bridge, but only on this. Am I in the right place?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Paragraph 6. God builds a bridge, but only in the space left clean and vacant by the miracle. The seeds of sickness and the shame of guilt he cannot bridge. For he cannot destroy the alien will that he created not. Let its effects be gone, and clutch them not with eager hands to keep them for yourself. The miracle will brush them all aside, and thus make room for him who wills to come and bridge his sons, returning to himself.
This idea of he cannot destroy the alien will that he created not. To follow the ego's thought system is to not, where he says it's an alien will, is it's not what you really want to do, because it's a form of attack and a lack of love. So he's saying, but because God is love, God is freedom. That means if that's what you want to do, you have the freedom to do that as long as you want to. You are not going to be attacked. You will not be punished. You won't be coerced. You will just be whispered to whenever you turn your ear in this direction. Silent whisper, okay, are you ready to let it go? I'm here to help you if you are. If you're not, that's fine. And that's only because otherwise we'll be scared to death. That has to be that kind of a free choice, or else guilt is real. So that's why he's saying he cannot destroy the alien will that he created not. He's not going to interfere. Just like Jesus will never give you instructions on what to do if you haven't asked him. He just sits and watches and gives you the freedom to make as many messes as you want to make. And just because otherwise we're not holy sons of God with the freedom to do. And also, like he said, he would be interfering with the power of your thoughts. And the whole purpose of the Course is to teach us how powerful our decisions and our thoughts are. And if he were interfering with this, getting in the way, then we would be not learning it. So, isn't that good to know?
Mm-hmm.
No one's interfering with me. I get to do what I want. I like that.
Yeah.
If I want to make a mess, I can make a mess. If I'm going to clean it up, then I got help.
When Russ was reading this, I thought that line 3, let its effects be gone and clutch them not with eager hands to keep them for yourself. I thought how when we're just so convinced that the world is hurting us, it's like we're clutching with eager hands. It's like, don't you tell me that my mind and my choices about guilt are responsible for my sickness? No way. It's because I got a germ, or it's because it's like,
and he's
we're
saying,
really eager to hold on to those ideas.
and we're free to do that
Yeah.
as long as we want to, which is nice.
Not nice. I want to go out.
I want to go
So
out.
do I. It's unanimous.
Okay, Bonnie, do you want to say a closing prayer
Absolutely.
to let us out? Do we have 2 whole minutes? You think so?
I think so.
Okay, you want to do it?
Okay, what is it?
7.
Count them the silver. Count them, the silver miracles and golden dreams of happiness, as all the treasures you would keep within the storehouse of the world. The door is open, not to thieves, but to your starving brothers, who mistook for gold the shining of a pebble, and who stored a heap of snow that shone like silver. They have nothing left behind the open door. What is the world except a little gap perceived to tear eternity apart and break it into days and months and years? And what are you who live within the world except a picture of the Son of God in broken pieces, each concealed within a separate and uncertain bit of clay? Wow.
Choose miracles, right?
Yes, does that describe it or what?
Okay, now